Welcome to Out and About, a show about your community. This week we're highlighting the Mountain Heritage Festival held last year in Blairsville. The festival is coming up this weekend, so you'll get a good preview of what to expect at this year's festival. Held at the Mountain Heritage Museum just south of the historic Union County Courthouse, the festival is sponsored by the Union County Historical Society. Former President Sam Inslee explains.
It originally started out as we started calling it Mountain Marketplace. We're going to have a place for local people to bring their produce, but it very quickly turned into more demonstration of what life was like in the old days in Union County. And we've worked until now we have the entire farmstead down here and barn and everything. So especially children, they get to see animals that they've probably never seen before. The people, the craft vendors that we have here, we go to a lot of length to make sure that they're local craftsmen. We don't really care for Taiwanese products. And we just have a really good time, play some old mountain music, and people walk around, and we've got all kinds of animals, and it's just people are showing how things were done. Yesterday we had a blacksmith. We've got a blacksmith shop down here, so it's just, that's our job, is to present the history of Union County, and this is the best way we can think of to do it. This is once a year. It's Labor Day weekend every year. It's Saturday and Sunday. And this is, I can't remember how many years we've done it, but it's like the World's Fair. It gets bigger and better every year.
All right. Tell us about some of the animals that you've got down there.
Well, there's a mule down there that I wish I could have myself. I mean, that mule is, it'll stand there all day. I called it a while ago, and it came up there and stood there just to be petted. And this weekend, David Friedley has his two steers, Bullwinkle and Bill, I believe is the other one. We have some goats down there. We have a calf. Was supposed to have had a pig, but it got away. And a collection of the best collection I've ever seen of all the chickens that people used to have in this area. White Leghorns, Dominickers, Rhode Island Red, Buff Orpington. There's some quail, pheasants, guineas. Just, a good collection of all the farm animals, and we're happy that now we can show them in their natural habitat. Well, not the wild animals, but the farm animals in the barn and in the pasture. This has been the biggest weekend we've ever had, and in fact, it's this is probably as big as our first 4 festivals put together. And both days, yesterday, I mean, you couldn't stir people with a stick. So, and people, most thing I'd walk around, and everybody seemed to really enjoy it, and the best thing was seeing the kids enjoying those animals. It's just unbelievable how they like those animals.
Okay, I'll do the ABCs and see how it sounds over it.
All right, you're listening to Willis Plott, and he is. Tell me what you're playing right there.
A Jew's harp. The old people call it juice harp, and some calls it mouth harp.
Is that something that Mountaineer would play?
Well, they played it way back in the olden days. Just sat on the porch with a banjo and a guitar and played the juice harp.
Hey, Willis, show us a little bit about what you're doing right here. You're working on a chair, putting in a bottom on a chair, I think.
Yeah.
Does that have a special pattern to it?
Yeah, I don't forgot what you call it, but this is a old pattern, you know, the old people used to use on the bottom chairs.
Make sure you look at the other buildings and the smithy.
So you got some wood strips, I think, and you
Yeah.
just weave it through.
Yeah.
Tell us how that works.
Well, I call it over and under, and step up one, and then next row step up two, and next row step up three. And then you go back, and it's under one, under two, under three. And then you go back over one, over two, over three, and that makes the pattern.
And now, where did you learn how to do this? Is this called chair caning, or what's the word?
Well, you can call it chair caning, yeah. I learned it down at Georgia Academy for the Blind, Macon, Georgia.
And that's been some years back, I think.
Oh yeah, it's been several years back.
Now, you were telling me earlier about how this chair you're working on is a very old chair. Why is it, how do you know that?
Well, because old people used to use a chair to let their babies learn how to walk. And this is just drawed out like it, because you can turn it over, and then our flat place it just sits on the floor, see? Then you can turn it over the other way, and the flat place it sits on the floor.
And is that how they would teach the children how to walk?
Yeah.
Or they had strollers back in the old days?
Yeah, they didn't have strollers way back there, and they turned the chair down from the catch hold of and push and learn how to walk.
Now, you've been doing the bottoms to chairs for quite a long time. Any idea how many you might have done over the years? Is that?
Oh, it'd be a lot.
Quite a bit.
Quite a bit.
Now, tell us a little bit about the baskets right behind you there. You've got some really nice looking baskets you've weaved.
Yeah, I just thought up a pattern and had somebody saw the bottom out, and then I put the sides on it. Yeah, I got one over our star basket in the shape of a star. And I got one over our Valentine basket. Then I think I got just a round one over there. And I got a big old square one. It'd be good for a toy box.
Now, how long would it take you to do a basket like that?
Well, it takes a pretty good while to do a basket, because time you tack a rib on it and then put that binding on top. Sometimes you have to put one binding and then glue it. I glue it and then let the glue set up, and then I put the other side of the binding on and glue it. Then I do the sides of it.
And have you got these for sale here?
Yeah, they're for sale.
And now you live in Blairsville, so if people wanted to look at some of your baskets, could they do that?
Yeah, I live out on Gumlog.
Out on Gumlog.
When you come to Ebenezer Church, on the left, I live 2 miles and 2/10 on the left, and the house number is 5229.
5229. Just ask for Willis Plot.
Yeah.
Ronnie Payne and Payne Pottery. I live at Emerson, Georgia, which is northwest Georgia, about 50 miles north of Atlanta. I turn pottery every day for a living and mix all my own clay, all of my glaze colors. Turn a jug like this. Usually I'll turn the jugs, then the next day I'll let them get leather hard, and then we'll go back and add all the features to the face and turn it into a face jug. It's a old folk type pottery that was started about 100, 150 years ago. And they originally put the faces on them to where they could keep liquor or some type of hard alcohol in them, to where it would scare the children and keep the children away from the jugs. So it kind of kept them away from their alcohol. And that was pretty much how the face jug started. And now they've become a very collectible thing, thanks to a couple of the folk potters from northeast Georgia. Lanier Metters was one of the more prominent potters that made face jugs very popular. And then the pigs, I make those, you kind of turn them like this on the wheel as a jug. And you, of course, the spout at the top, we turn into the snout for the pig. And there again, the next day you let them get leather hard, and the next day you go back and add the features to them, put the ears and eyes and tail and feet and everything on them, and just turn them into a pig or a piggy bank. In this case, I put a coin slot in the top of it. And then you can take the cork out and get the change out for the children once they get it in there. But it's something I do every day. I've got a studio there on the property where I live, and I've been doing this now for about 10 years full time every day.
How did you learn how to do this?
I worked with a gentleman over in Canton, Georgia for 4 years as an apprentice with him. I spent about 7 or 8 hours a day with another potter working full time. He was a full-time potter. His name was Ron Cooper. And I worked with him for about 4 years and learned most of the craft. And then there's a lot of trial and error, things you learn on your own just simply by doing it yourself, because there's a lot of things about decorating and turning on a wheel that takes some time to learn. You just kind of have to learn how the feel of the clay and how much you can stretch it and how much you can shape something. And a lot of it's just a trial and error process. But I've turned my first pieces when I was 17 in high school, and just had a tremendous love for it at that time. It always fascinated me how you could take a piece of clay and just a raw form like that and shape it into a beautiful vessel. And I always wanted to do that. So in 2000, in 1997, I started learning to do this for a full-time business, and turned it into a full-time business about 10 years ago.
So do you guys travel around?
Yes, sir. We do about 15 shows a year. Most of them are in North Georgia. I've done a few in Florida, and I do one every year in Tennessee in the spring. But I do probably 60% of my business now out of my shop there on the property where we live. People come to my studio and buy there, and then they order stuff, and I take orders and make a lot of dinnerware sets and stuff like that, as well as doing the shows.
And that's near Cartersville.
Mm-hmm. It's 2 miles south of Cartersville, a little town called Emerson, Georgia. And,
Have you got any of your work in the Folk Pottery Museum of Northeast Georgia?
No, I don't have any there. Now, I've got some in Crawford County at the museum down there. We fire a wood kiln down there about 3 to 4 times a year. And I've got some 3 and 4 gallon jugs down there in that museum there. And I've got some in a gallery in Kingston, Georgia. And I've got some at the museum in Cartersville. But don't have any up there in Northeast Georgia at the Pottery Museum there.
Okay. Now, how would people get in touch with you?
You can look on the website at painpottery.com, or you can look us up in the phone book. My number is 770-386-8987.
All right, well, thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
All of the buildings in the complex came from Union County. This house here, the Butt Mock House, was built in 1906, and we inherited it from the same family. The first cabin down here, the dwelling, is the John Payne cabin. It was built on down around Coosa, and I believe it was 1861. And John Payne raised a family in it. The next little cabin down is we call it, it's the Gray cabin. The Gray family down on Ivy Log donated it, and so as far as the farm goes, it's a smokehouse. And the next building is the Duncan Gillespie cabin. It was John Duncan had 5 children married into the Gillespie family, and several generations of them lived in. In fact, the former Sheriff Harlan Duncan was reportedly born in that old cabin, but now it's a blacksmith shop with a lot of materials and all used from Watson Collins' barn that came from Choice Toy. And see, down below that is the corn crib, and it came from Ivy Log, and it came from the Nick Byers lived in that in the 1920s, and we got it built back as a corn crib. And beyond that is our latest addition is the Sylvanus Money barn, and it was built down off Money Road. I guess you'd call it Ivy Log. It's right on the edge of Ivy Log, down the Murphy Highway anyway, and then off to the left off Money Road. That's the Money family that were pioneers there, and this barn, we're certainly glad to get it because it came from the old Money farmstead. And we're just glad to have them. So we've got one more change to make in the farmstead, and we will probably, this old house is being furnished in, I call it early REA, as it would have looked about the time electricity came into the country. It's got an early stove and refrigerator and all the furnishings, or we're working on getting all the furnishings inside from that you would have seen in a house in that era. We've got enough room out there that we would like to construct a barn that would go with this house, not a log barn like the old one down there, and or at least it would have the outward appearance of a barn, but would be inside would be climate controlled so that we would have a place. We are needing storage space for a lot of our artifacts and especially documents that need to be climate controlled. And so that's probably our next thing to do, is to do that, because we have this and we have the old courthouse, and we have a lot of artifacts, and we're getting more every day, and so we've got to find a safe place to keep them that will that they won't deteriorate.